Alright guys, so I'll show you how to wrap the fender of this 2017 Subaru Outback with VVivid's Ultra Gloss Khaki Green. I've already cleaned off the fender. You can see I've removed the bumper and the headlights. This just helps get around corners and in these areas here a little bit more easily. You don't have to take them off. On this particular part here, I'm not gonna wrap into the fender well itself, because on top of this goes a fender well guard that I reinstall afterwards that actually goes up and under as well. So it's gonna be completely covering the vinyl here. So anyway, I've already cleaned off this fender by using a clay bar and detail spray, and then wiped it down with alcohol, and then wiped it really quickly with a tack cloth to get rid of any last minute or last second debris, dust, whatever that might have gotten on there. Again, I'll do that one more time just before putting on the vinyl. All right guys, so let's go ahead and get started with this. All right, so I'm just gonna do one quick wipe down with this tack cloth. That will grab any dust or debris. Got my piece cut out here. That's tall enough and long enough. Once I've got that placed, grab a couple magnets here to hold it in place. So I'm going to go ahead and trim some of this off because it just gets in the way. My back slitter here. And then what I like to do also is, because I know I'm not going to be wrapping into the wheel well, it's just extra vinyl that's going to be hanging around and flopping around. And a lot of this under here I'm not going to need. Just like to cut away some of that excess as well. I'm going to go ahead and start to peel this. So now I'm going to set this up so I can glass it out nicely. So I'm going to glass this out, and I'm kind of going to go, there's like a high point body line here, so I'm going to go for that. And you can see by pulling back and then this way it smoothed out that area there, which is good, which is what you want, and that's a technique called glassing, which you may have heard. So that looks pretty okay. I'm going to go with it. Lock this down just a little bit. This is my high point here, so I was trying to get the glass to land over this high point. Now I'm going to fix this up a little bit, and I'm going to actually start glassing this a bit this way. Lay that down. That's the lower plastic guard there. Now, this has a weird dip right here. You notice if I try to put it down, it's going to have a tension point there. So you have to make a relief cut. Okay. Just down like this. And then now you see, by making essentially a tab, that vinyl falls right down into where it needs to be. Continuing to just squeegee. Horizontal wrinkle there, not a big deal. Reading the wrinkles, you'll want to just pull up on it. You notice if I pull up, that wrinkle essentially goes away. So it's one of the techniques for reading wrinkles as far as how to address them. So if you want to essentially, generally speaking, if you want to get rid of a wrinkle, look at the direction it's going. In this case, it's horizontally. And then pull perpendicular to it. So if I pull it straight up, see how that turns into glass. So. Right. Now these wrinkles here, I'm not a big fan of, so I'm gonna try to fix that a bit here. Maybe I'll even try re-glassing just a bit more. I'm going to heat this here just a little bit to kind of get this mess cleaned up a bit. Help relax the vinyl, reset it. You notice I'm heating like the whole area, not just right there. I'm heating everything here. With the vinyl still warm, go ahead and continue to squeegee up until you reach the top of the fender and bridge across to the hood. And once you've reached the top, pull the vinyl back off the fender a little bit and give it some heat to relax the vinyl so there's no tension at the edge. Got that bridge set up nicely, and I'll heat that one more time before cutting. All right, coming over this, over the top, you can see it's creating a tension line. You can see some of those tension lines here. So what I want to do is, I know I'm going to cut right here. So I'm going to make a relief cut on the hood side, giving myself plenty of extra space just in case. So creating a tab so that, and I'm going to make my cut split face away that way so that if it rips, it doesn't rip into where I'm going to need it. Now that I've created a tab, it goes over a lot more easily because I'm only fighting a little bit less vinyl, not this whole sheet, whole section of vinyl there. Okay, so start trimming. I'm going to do an empty cut on this side here. Find that edge, cut this away. And it's empty because there's empty space behind this fender edge, and I'm cutting into the empty space. Hence the empty term, empty cut. Cut that away. Now I'm going to trim this bottom part down here. Make sure I'm going to use my micro squeegee and try to make sure I have a really good defined cut line. And then trim. And I'm floating the blade in between the fender body and the black plastic cladding there. Here, I got a little bit of wrinkling and tension stuff there from glassing earlier. So what I'm going to do is just give it a little heat to relax out the vinyl. And again, notice when I heat, I'm not heating just there, I'm heating the whole section. All right, give that a couple seconds to cool, and then I can start to apply the vinyl. And I'm not pulling it, I'm just holding it up. I'm gonna get my knife again and just basically do a flush cut here. And a flush means just basically my blade is sitting against the side edge, perpendicular, in this case, right to the car itself. Just a flush cut. Seal your edges down regardless if I'm putting something on top or not. That way nothing gets up and under your vinyl. Here I do want a little bit of tuck under. So I'm going to do this. Here. Just like that. And then the front, to get a good corner around there, you want to pull your vinyl back a little bit, heat the whole section. You notice how much excess I left, and then you'll want to essentially try to hook the corner. It's going to be hard because this is going to block me, but hook that corner. Notice how I have that rounded like that. If you need to, you can even use your squeegee to help you hook that corner. Stretch and hook it around the corner tip, just like that. And then from the corner, try to work the vinyl away from it and towards the flat sides. Okay. So once you've got that pretty well set, let's make sure I got it on there looking nice. Now remember, this has been stretched, and so I'm going to give it in some heat. And that causes the vinyl that's been stretched to shrink around the corner. So I'm going to lift it up a little bit so that it's not caught as it tries to retract around the corner on anything else. And that way now you'll have a nice, clean, fully wrapped corner. Once it's already done shrinking, but while it's still warm, you can then just use your squeegee, micro squeegee, whatever, to mold that a little bit more. Now I'm not going to cut all the way up because I still have that to do there. So I'm going to start, and again, I'm going to cut against the hood side. And I'm flush cutting against the hood in this case, because I do want to leave a little bit of material to then tuck down under the edge there. So I do have a small corner there. Just hook that edge over that. A little bit of a touch of heat so that it moves. And then, while it's still warm, clean that corner up just a little bit. All right, so I have 2 corners here, one here, and one up there. So this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue this cut, and I'm gonna cut away and leave myself a tab for extra so I can then hook that vinyl. Okay, so I'm just cutting up towards it, flush cutting against the hood as my cut guide. So we'll leave a tab up here, and I'm gonna relief cut this so that on this side here, on the A-pillar side, because I do have a little bit of a corner that I want to hook here, so I'm going to cut away, so I'll leave a little excess there. Go in just a bit, the side of my flat side of my blade against the side of the A-pillar, just following that down all the way. All right, now I have this little area here that leads into a trim piece. So I'm gonna get my heat gun and warm this area up a little bit. It's getting a little bit tight. I may have to make a relief cut here or there, but I'm gonna heat it up just a little bit, kind of get it going. I'm gonna kind of give the vinyl, move the vinyl in towards the recessed part itself. And I know there's the trim piece. Got a lot of tension here, so I can make a relief cut right around there to help ease up some of that tension. Warm it up again a little bit more. Work this down towards the trim piece, this up towards the trim piece on this side here. Trying to set up some sort of a cut line here. I'm going to cut a little extra because I know I can lift that up a little bit and tuck the vinyl in behind it. So with that, I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to cut this out, give it just a little extra. There's my curve. Be very conservative. Better, again, to cut less and then be able to cut more than to cut too much. And then you're hosed after that. There we go. Peel that off and you can see now how super shiny and glossy this film really is. It does have a really good gloss color and finish to it. Heat gun, warm this area up again a little bit. And because I have excess and this is kind of popped up, I can start to work it up and towards it. So notice I'm taking this vinyl, I'm kind of pushing it towards the deepest part, the recess there. So I want to give that vinyl to reduce the tension on the vinyl itself so that this isn't under a huge amount of tension and will pop out later on. So that's tucked in behind already. I'm going to try to get that tucked in behind there, just like that. Give it a little heat. Make sure everything is pressed down nicely inside of there, tucked in, and then pop that back. I'm going to start tucking in where I cut here. I'm going to heat it first. The hard edge of my squeegee. Start essentially rolling that vinyl in so that it rolls in nicely. Just like that. Okay, again, I got a corner tip there. So I'm going to do the same process as before. I'm going to heat a little bit here. And I'm going to hook that over the corner, just like I did there. Okay. And then the rest I'm going to start tucking, molding around that corner. And I kind of did a shallow or a wide cut there because I want this to tuck down a little bit onto the inside part of this fender. So now that that's cut away, I'm just making sure my corner is molded nicely and around. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same for this guy here. Heat that up. And then hook it over the corner tip. This is kind of a really big corner. It goes deep pretty far down and around there. And again, I'm just trying to tuck this down onto the flat part, inside part of this. I don't need to go too far because I do have a cap, plastic cap that goes here and covers up to about here-ish. So I just needed to get it down so that the vinyl is just past where that plastic cap would go. All right. Now that I've done that, I'm going to heat the corner again so that it shrinks around the corner. Giving it just a couple seconds to chill. Loosen it up so that I can maneuver it if I need to. And again, I'm just shaping, while it's still a little bit warm, I'm just trying to shape this corner the way I want to so it looks nice. All right, I'm gonna heat it one more time just to make sure everything's good. Done, done. I didn't really see any more movement there, so that's a good sign. It's not trying to shrink back some more. Trim it out. Again, cut under the corner as best you can. When you're cutting corners, be sure to cut underneath the corner and then cut away and out towards each of the flat sides. All right, so this upper section is done. All right, so I got a little bit more trimming up to do and tucking as well. So I'm gonna heat this edge here. And then I'm gonna get this down with my finger. Then I'm going to take my squeegee and make sure that everything is tucked down while it's still warm. There's this area here, I'm going to give it a little bit of heat first. Then I'm going to use my finger to get the vinyl started. Kind of roll it over the initial edge before I then take my squeegee and then finish tucking and rolling the rest of the edge in. Hook it over the corner like that. Shape it as you need to. And then, so that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and cut underneath the corner and it's following the inside of this fender here. And this is the one that I already set up. Just double check it here now that I have the hood up and out of the way a little bit better. I'm going to shape this just a bit better. I was holding it up, but it didn't really move or shrink back because I'd already done that process to it a couple times. Under the corner. Here I'm kind of just cutting flush and under. There. And the only thing left that I need to do again is post heat really well all the edges. Here are a few before and after pictures of the fully wrapped fenders. If you haven't noticed already, the finish of this vinyl is absolutely top notch. The glossiness and smoothness of this vinyl make it look like paint, and everybody that has seen the vinyl in my car, to include other professional vinyl wrappers, have all commented that it looks like paint. So also in the pictures, you can see that my car is fully wrapped in VVivid's Ultra Gloss Khaki Green. If you want to learn how I wrap the other parts of my car, like the door, the hood, the roof, etc., stay tuned as I'm working on more tutorial videos for wrapping all those areas to do a full color change wrap. Guys, I hope this video has been helpful. Let me know what you think of this vinyl in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day.